What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. Good to see you all out there. I know that this is supposed to be for 4 p.m. Central or 5 p.m. Eastern, but I had to start a little bit early today because uh, just wanted to just wanted to get it done actually, and part of it is we got some things going on as well uh, with the family to make sure that we get taken care of, and we're doing that and all that stuff. I do have chat set to members only, supporters only, and subscribers only on all the platforms. Uh, but I will leave the comments open after the fact to everybody. So if you have any questions, you can get out there and you can ask. You can ask questions, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. I want to make this kind of a series that we've that helps people get started, not just with iRacing, but maybe some streaming advice and things like that that I've learned over the last 3 years, because I didn't start with very much knowledge into doing this, and I watched probably, I don't know, hundreds of at least 100 different videos. I could give you an exact amount, but at least 100 different videos of how to get out there and get the right streaming equipment, have the right system, have basically everything that you need to be able to do this. And back in 2020, whenever we first started doing this, there wasn't a lot of advice when it came to having to, I don't know, to doing this. I mean, there was some overlay, what is it, ATVO? There was ATVO overlay information, and then there was a little bit about streaming, but it didn't really fit to what I was doing, because it was more like first person shooters, and it was more like the extra stuff that people would normally see as a I don't know, a different I don't know, it's a different game, a different entity altogether. So I am making this members only for the chats, for the live chats, because I want the people who've actually supported the channel when it comes to memberships and supporters and stuff like that, and subscribers, to be able to have the first dibs during chat, and then afterwards I will of course answer everybody's questions if you have any. But I'm going to go over just kind of the bare essentials of what I have and what I do behind the scenes when it comes to calling a race, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and for the last three years, other than having the occasional co-commentator, it's been a one-man show. There's been nobody else to create, to make the overlays, to set things up, to monitor the system. I don't have a producer on the side. I don't have an editor on the side. But I am looking for an editor. I'm actually looking for a video editor to take my videos and condense them down into short segments, highlight videos when it comes to the races. Also, somebody I can send gaming content to. They can shorten it down and put it all together for me. Because I'm with the way life is right now, I don't have the time to do that. But it's something that I want to do. But right now I don't have the time to do it, so I'm going to have to outsource for that. So if you know anybody that is looking for that kind of content, make sure that you leave a name or tag them in this video afterwards. If you can't chat right now, so that's something that I am looking for. But so I normally have 6 monitors, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. I had to remove this monitor right here so you guys could see kind of the down angle right here. I was going to hook up the Sony and put it right here so you guys could see that way, but my son's using my longer cord that goes from there to there. So and I could hook it up wirelessly, but it's too slow, and I don't like that. But my Sony is a great camera. It just doesn't, over Wi-Fi, the connection it's no bueno. So let's see. C2 gave us a like. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Let's take a look. I want to show you the main look at all this, and for the most part, what I look at whenever I'm streaming. So Top left, you have my iRacing screen, which is my main middle monitor. You have OBS over here, which is on my left lower monitor. So what I'm looking at right here. Then my upper monitor right here. This is my SDK, and behind SDK is, of course, all of the stuff right there, and YouTube's members only. So it is in the middle of the afternoon too on a Saturday. So I probably think that I'm going to get a lot of views afterwards. This is my first time doing this, so. And normally I don't stream on Saturdays, so the alerts are probably not going to go out according to the algorithm. So the top right of your screen right there is where I keep Discord and chat, and anytime I need to look up any information, I try to do it on the web browser, which is going to be up in the upper monitor up here. I am running the only monitor that's 1080 is the OBS monitor. Everything else is a 1440 monitor, 2560 by 1440. I used to run triples on the bottom at 1440, but when I race, I actually like the smaller 1080 monitor because it allows me to see just the mirror. I have it set up just to see the mirror and crop data. Everything else is 1440 across when I race. So my main monitor looks really good, and so does my right monitor, so it's all good. I use Corus as my monitors. They're really good. I love them. I think that for 144 hertz monitors, they're really good. They're really great. I am a big Logitech fan for mice, so I have a Logitech G520 G502 is what I have. It's a great mouse. Has great responsiveness, and that's what I have right there. It's what I use for the time go. I have a Stream Deck. I have a 15 key Stream Deck as well, but I don't have hooked up. My Go XLR is actually on the streaming PC behind. It's a 2 PC setup, so my streaming right here is actually streaming to the streaming PC, and then on an output. So. NDI to out, so it's really nice. It's really comfortable. It's really one of those things that once you do it, you realize that when you have a lot of output, it's kind of a necessity. So I dig it. I like it, and it's been good. So I'm sitting in my Discord. You can join my Discord. There'll be a link that pops up on a timer if you want to do it. I encourage you to do that, and appreciate you if you do. Outside of that, it's pretty much how it goes. I mean, everything seems to be kind of in a good spot, and I've had to make adjustments and make changes, and I'm constantly having to improve or make a change that I like, and that's what I do. With just all in the same concept. That's everything I do. I use Adobe for all of my products and all my suites. When it comes down to it, actually, let's take over to the Photoshop page. This is what I made last night when it came to the Adobe, or when it came to the thumbnail. I took a thumbnail out of iRacing, came in and ran some effects on it, and created the Fixed Racing League winner photo last night. But I used this same template here. It's kind of a template that I created, but I use it for all of them. So if I wanted to create this week's thumbnail, this is what I would do when it comes down to it. We used to have Exhilarate on board. I like the background, but this is what I use now for the most part. So what do we have? An 802 Cup Series tomorrow. So if everything kind of leveled off, so let's make the race tomorrow. And go back to the main menu here, and what I'm getting. So I'll go to the 802 Cup Series race, and I'll make sure that I verify where they're going to be at. I know they're going to be at Dover tomorrow, but I want to make sure that they're doing it. What are they doing? I always double check the schedule, so that way I can make sure that I know what they're going to be doing. Because if I don't, I can mess something up, and I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure that they are good to go. I always try to make sure that I focus on making the text as big as possible when creating my thumbnail. My thumbnail is 1920 by 1080 because that's pretty much standard across the practice when it comes to using Restream to make everything out. Except that NordVPN is one of my sponsors, and we love NordVPN. So make sure that you guys check those fine folks out as well. When it comes to the text I use, it's called Pirulen, Pirulen, Pirulen. Pirulen is what it's called. It's my favorite text. It's what my logo is made out of, and I pretty much use it for everything. And then we'll talk about the 802 Cup Series. And then we'll put their sponsor in the bottom, Riptide Radio. I also have their sponsor logo, and I also have their regular logo in here as well. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I normally have it all. I've kind of let this one kind of go. And at a certain point, I start from scratch again and I go back in and do it. But I normally have it all organized by league and folders and all that stuff. But I've kind of gotten away from it because, well, it just happens to the best of us. It's the Fixed Racing League 802 should be. Oh, here somewhere. And if they're not, I just add another one and, go from there. That's that. It's one of the vehicles whenever I bring out vehicles. I'll find it. Oh, iRacing, always iRacing logo, always. I want them to get credit for the game because, well, they make an incredible. This game has given me the opportunity to be able to do this stuff. So, that's the reason why we do what we do here. So, another car. Did I not put the 802? Would have thought I had the 802 in here. 802 Cup Series on the text. Logo back. That's the other one. It's C2 Gaming. That's going to be on Monday. 802 Cup Series. Bam. There it is. See, I just had to stop and look. And Riptide Radio is their sponsor. I've added a little stroke to the outside of it to clean it up with a little white drop shadow. So, which I do like. And so we'll make that as Dover. Dover's going to be a good race tomorrow for the 802. And then we'll export it as a quick PNG. We will. I know you can't see this, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It goes to my picture into the 802 Cup folder file. There it is. And we call it Dover. And once that's done, we save the file. And I gotta update get a new debit card in, so I have to update my billing information for Adobe. It's a good reminder. I like seeing that stuff. Okay, so Photoshop out of the way. That's all closed. That's done. There's my main monitor. We're actually going to go to the upper monitor here. And we're going to go here. We're going to go here. I'm going to open up Restream. And I'm also going to open up Facebook. Because it's really easy to go to Facebook on my main page. There's Blair out there racing. It shows, there we are. We're live. It shows me on my main Facebook page, I can just scroll down and grab the race description like I did before, because I spend time creating the race description. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that it matches up with what they're doing and try to do what we do. So I just copy what we have here. I'll schedule an event. We're going to make it on the encoder. We're going to paste the description. And something that I love about doing what I've learned this from, actually I learned this from Dr. Disrespect, on why he puts live in front of it. That red grabs your attention quite nicely. So we're going to do that. we're going to back this out. We're going to go Dover. We're going to make sure that's copied. I'm going to put that immediately in the race description. And then I need to, before I mess with this, I'm going to go here. I'm going to make sure that I'm selecting Sunday, and their race starts at race will start at 7:10 Eastern, so I'm in Central. So we'll change it to, I'll have the race start at 6 p.m. So that way, after the intro and all that stuff, it'll get to where I need to be, and then I'm gonna go ahead and upload. Go to the pictures, 802. Click on Dover, and then crop it. And then now I'm going to go here. The newest Sunday series for Signature Esports brings us back to some familiar face, a whole different look. I keep that because I like that. We are on week 10. They are recruiting too. And we are 3 races away. So I want to make sure I start highlighting the end of the season. Now that we're 3 races away to the end of the season, takes us into, let me back that up, the final stretch of the season. Week 10 of this series. And now that we are there, I'm going to pull some points. I'm going to see who's got the lead and who's got what, and just catch myself up. This is a good way to refresh myself before I have to look at it. 4 wins. Johnny leads the field with 18. 16-point advantage over Rob Lowell. Tune in and see if anyone can knock leader off the top spot with a win. And that's how we do that. So that's where I'm changing. It's what I'm doing there. Let me move that. There we go. So that's what it looks like. That's what I've got going on. I also make sure to put in a description of their sponsor. They do have a sponsor. 802 is brought to you by Riptide Radio. Riptide is a free internet radio download playing the best in Carolina Beach and Blues Motown music out of the North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. This is something they gave me. It's what they put, and it sounds good enough to me. So I don't change it if it's good for those folks. So I make sure I do it. So it's Sounds of the Salt Sea and Sand. Tune in to broadcast to hear more about them as well. I could do a shameless plug with Restream because I do have Restream as an affiliate ship or whatever it is. But I don't. Restream is $20 a month. Kind of expensive for some that are just starting out. If you want to restream on multiple platforms, so I tell people, don't. You can use other platforms, so you can just stream to one. The reason why I stream to so many is because we have our Facebook partnership program, we have the YouTube partner program, and we have an affiliate ship on Twitch. But when it comes to and Kick, we're got like 20 followers on Kick. So Kick is, I don't think Kick is made for broadcast. I think Kick is made for the dark adult side of streaming. If that makes any sense to you, that's kind of the way that I look at Kick. But I'm still streaming on Kick. I want to be able to reach as many people as possible and at their convenience, not mine. You know what I mean? So that's what we've looked at. That's what we're doing. And that's what I continue to do. I continue to try to adapt. Now, if I get an exclusivity contract, it says, hey, you know, you can only stream on YouTube or you can only stream on Facebook. We had that before with Facebook, and it paid well. But we ended up at a certain point at the end of that exclusivity, we actually ended up losing more money by not just by saying no to that and putting ourselves on all four platforms. We actually lost money on the rebuild after that contract was done, or that requirement was done. So now I'm just trying to make sure that we're doing everything that we can. And you know, this is all about community and all about growth and all about positivity and making sure that people are doing what they're doing and can continue to do what they want to do when it comes to what we do as streamers. So that's how I set up a race. I always make sure that I go through and I check the four platforms I'm going to stream on, and then create the event. Takes a few moments, and then it will line up. And now what I will do is I will immediately, after creating that, and I normally have already had this done, but I wanted to show this on this. This is kind of important to me, but I wanted to show this so that way I could get myself. I'm not going to copy the stream key because it's set up through OBS to do it automatically. We'll go to the events. So what I'll do is I'll open these up right here. We're going to view this on YouTube. We're going to go back. We're going to view this on Facebook. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to grab that link. I'm going to go into their Discord here on the bottom right, and I'm going to go at everyone. Control V for the YouTube. Shift Enter to bring down the next one here, and I'm going to grab the Facebook one as well. Control V. I'm going to scroll up and grab my Kick and Twitch links from the week before. Hit Shift Enter and then paste both of those. And now they have their links for, and normally it puts a thumbnail up for them too, so they can see what's going on. So now they have links for that, and they go share it on their social media. They can do what they do. It automatically posts on my Facebook page, so I don't have to worry about that. And we can make sure that what we're doing is going to be good and perfect for the series. And so that's the way it rolls. That's what we see, and it's kind of the way things are managed. On OBS, my settings, people have asked me about my settings. I'll have to do a different video. I'll have to record that and put the stream settings up on what it is, because some things are boxed out and you have to show. You kind of want to show everything when it comes to all of that, how to click go live, how to do all that stuff, how to make sure. So I'll probably have to do another separate video. I do have an iRacing. If you remember on YouTube, I do have an iRacing OBS video. That is out there. It's a little outdated, but for the most part, everything's still the same. Everything's still good. The management is still all right there. So just keep that in mind. I stream at 1080. I started streaming at 1440, but if you're not a Twitch partner, you can switch it 1440. Facebook doesn't like 1440, so YouTube is the only one that was really accepting of it. So if I ever decide that I want to be exclusive again, it might be just YouTube, because I can stream at 1440 and make the streams look better. 1080 is good, but it's just not the best when it comes to like the amount of quality that we've put into this. Now, there are things that I'm working on doing to make 1080 look really good, and that is including, we're working on purchasing a new upgrade and saving up the extra money that we make off the streams to pay the bills. We got to pay. We got a couple of $400 and $800 bills that we need to pay to be able to make sure that money's freed up. And then after that, we're going to really be focusing on bringing the rest of all this together. So like all the stars that we get in are going to go towards, saving for that, except for, I think in the middle of this month, we're going to start our campaign for Toys for Tots and Shop with the Cop like we did last year. I started a little late last year, and it forced us to, when we got our payments in, to donate it at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to do it early this year so we can do it and get it to them before Christmas. So that's something that I'm working on, which is awesome. Okay. So that's out of the way. Then I always pop up, once I'm live, I always pop up my restream chat down here, to make sure that, I keep it up. And so this is what my right monitor stays like. So if I need any information, I can just scroll through and do that. And then, I also pull iRacing over to it as well. So iRacing goes off my middle monitor. Let's do this. We're going to move these over here. Actually, I need to empty my recycle bin because there was some stuff I deleted. And so that's pretty much the way it goes. I leave a black backdrop here. I don't have anything up there because I want as much performance out of my computer as possible. That way we can put on a good, solid, quality product and make sure people know what they're getting themselves. What they're getting when it comes to doing this. I'm still missing my credits from iRacing. I don't know what's going on with that. They've had a couple of things that have happened. Anywho, after the thumbnail's done, that's setting up the week. That's I'm going to do that for C2 Gaming Dirt Series for Monday. I'm going to do that for Tuesday as well, and then on Monday I do the end of the week for the Fixed Racing League, and normally on Monday I try to get all of the series knocked out and make sure that they're all there so they have a chance to advertise and market and do what they've got to do. Normally I already have C2 done on the weekend, and then so that just leaves me Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday to call a race, excuse me. And then, so I have Monday, Tuesday calling races, but Monday the thumbnails should be done for the next week. So it's a full week. So everybody has an opportunity, and the only one that gets shortchanged on that is the Tuesday Night Truck Series. But our Tuesday Night Truck Series does really well. And that's, of course, with Chop Shop, they put on a good series. So, it kind of markets itself, and I don't have to do too much with it, but I still put, and now I'm getting to the point of creating winter thumbnails and just trying to give myself a little bit more posting and a little bit more action, and just like the summer's been busy and lots of things have been busy. So we're just trying to make sure that we're doing the best that we can, to give everybody the exposure they deserve and the exposure they need. And I'm using the HyperX right now instead of the Shure SM7B, because once my Stream Deck went down, it screwed with my Go XLR, and nothing's working right now. So we're back to this, and we're working on getting a new Stream Deck. So I ordered one. It's just taking a little bit of time to get here. I was going to order it for Amazon, but I ordered it through B&H Photo because they had a deal on it or special on it or something like that. So I ordered it through them, which is cool. And then we'll put the Shure SM7B. I normally use the Shure SM7B. So folks have been saying that my mic's been cutting in and out a little bit in the races. This is probably why. This is a great microphone, but with the audio filters that we have digitally enhancing the voice to be able to be level and clear and not squeaky over the race volume, because there's a different audio set. Different audio does different things. Like when I get excited, I don't want myself to sound mechanical or anything like that. And because the audio in iRacing is so, it's like a general hum, I want my voice to carry over that and not level with it. So that's the reason why we basically trick OBS into thinking that our voice is a different octave than OBS. But this is my normal voice. Everything that you hear is true and normal, and I just have to digitally trick OBS into not thinking that it's, a certain megahertz, because then it wants to clip me out or it wants to drown me into the race volume, and I don't like that. So, and that's just sound technician stuff that you you start realizing over the course of doing this. What else? I keep my hauls right here. It helps me. A bottle of water and a salty Calmer Monster. During the day, at night, sometimes I get a warm tea or a cup of coffee. I like coffee. Even late at night, I'm a coffee drinker. It is it's kind of the way it goes. All right. Let's load up a race. Let's go to series list. Up next. Hold on. Is there a race live right now that we can watch? Is it IS live? It's the practice. A race. Is there a race live? That one is not live. Wait, the practice. I could just go into a practice, but I wanted to actually get in and try to call one of these. Let's look at that. Is it Craftsman Truck Series running? Yeah, it is. Let's pick top split. So you got to pick one of your vehicles that you own, and even to watch it, you have to own one of the vehicles. So now we're gonna join the session as a spectator. They should be over halfway through the race, I would think. Up here, I load in the projects for the series, and what I do here, what we'll do here is we'll just load in the NASCAR one. I don't think I made any changes to it. If I did, then no, I didn't make any changes to it. We're good. And you see this big white box on the right side here. Go to the upper monitor. Here we go. Upper monitor here is SDK Gaming. It looks intimidating, but it's not, I promise. This white side carries all the basic information that runs everything behind the scenes. Including your style overrides, such as how you change logos and how you do all that stuff. All of this shows I have 4 laps to go. Yeah, they're 4 laps to go. So these drivers are already going. Tommy Gossett leading here. One of the things that I see with it all the time is you have to look at where the drivers are and what the series kind of looks like. Kansas is a good racetrack, and for the most part, the opens are always going to be a ton of fun. But it just is literally as simple as just clicking on a name and it switches to a driver, which I like SDK. I'm looking not only at what OBS is doing, but I'm also looking at the race, and I'm having to keep up with the telemetry and the timing here. And when I call a race, let's go to the main. When I call a race, I'm having to constantly adjust around and make sure I'm doing what I do. Like right now, Tommy Gossett has a 1.18 second lead over the 18, aka the 7, even though and that's the thing. He is the 7 up here. He's number 7 in the car right now. Morris still trying to track him down. And I think if I had all the information, if I had been in here early, I would have known if the pit lane, when they came to pit road, what the timing was of them being on pit road. 18.3. This is the move. Tommy Gossett trying to lead. I know he is part of the Ryko series, and also you see that banner on the top, Road to Pro Series action for the driver. Right now, I have to load Trading Paint, so Trading Paints is loading up here. 18 to the outside. 18 with a run. 3 into the wall. Tommy Gossett got bumped out of the way. James Morris wins that one. It was a good move. It was a really good move. Tommy's going to give him a bump here maybe show him some displeasure. Good little bump, and I mean, that was a bump and run. Yeah. Don't do it, Tommy. I don't have the race chat turned on, folks, so just so you know. It'll be 1-2. They'll finish that way. Good little run for both of them. So if I see the pass or I see the incident, what I can do is I can go back. I double click on that right side, and I use the controls here to do it. So the 18 had a good run. I use the far chase. There's camera controls here. I don't have to use any shortcut keys on my keyboard or on the well, I do have keys set up on the Stream Deck, but since we don't have it, everything I use will still be run up here. Watch the run. 18 gets to the bottom. Little bump. Gets him a little free. Bump. Bump. Gets him loose. I mean, that's a bump and run at Kansas. That was cleaner than anything else. Includes your race results. Your race results pop up in the screen. That ticker's running fast. Lots of changes to be made with that. But that's as simple as it gets when it comes to SDK. You have everything pretty much pre-made and ready to go with it. However, the drivers here don't really have, you don't have to really change anything if you're doing like iRacing calls and stuff like that if you want to support SDK, but every league is specific. So that is the reason why. Go back to main bottom here. That is why I make changes for each league. So if I let's load Chop Dirt. No, Chop Truck, sorry. So if I load up Chop Dirt, everything I have for Chop Dirt is custom right now. So if I hit race results, actually, take that back. It's not going to do it. And this is whenever I have an issue with SDK, it's usually with the SDK Live HUD not wanting to reset. So I have to restart it in the middle of the race. And that'll be what it is. That's what it looks like. So just have to make sure that we are always paying attention to what it is and what we've got going on. Likewise with the towers and all of the things that go on there. We try to make sure that we use the style overrides to make any changes. And this is that style override. Let me get rid of, hold on. Let me hit cancel on that real quick. Give me a second, folks. So we'll hit that style overrides again. Let's get rid of that. So everybody wants to know how to change the pictures and how to do all that stuff and how to do it. It's a little bit of coding, CSS coding, well, HTML. Nothing too fancy when it comes to what it actually is, but it works, and it works pretty easily. A lot of it you can find on their website, but when you first load into one of these, like say, here's the Chop banner. I think it's a URL, right? So if I copy that, I'm going to hit cancel. I'm going to go ahead and load the NASCAR one back in to show you just kind of how simple this can be. So we'll hide the tower. We'll hide the ticker. We'll show the race information here. I go back into that same spot. Pull that over here. I know it's hard to see. The race, there's our timer. Down here where that same spot was, let me do this. Or the overlay where it says this part right here, logos displayed on the race info grid. That's what this is right here. So it's Kansas. The variable is going to be the series logo. You can put that in there, or you can copy in where it says series logo URL, that, and then you change the variable to URL. And if I move that up and I click apply, it changes to the Chop Shop racing photo that we have for them. Likewise, anything that I change in the actual SDK series name, I can change this. There you go. Change it on the fly. They have race information. I can put in a remote at the same time for the race info because it's not something that comes standard on the NASCAR stuff. There we go. Let me go back here again. There it is. Import. I'm going to import that into SDK so that way it's good to go. And then the lower heading to say truck series. And then I want the lower text to be, 80 laps. Caret bracket, open bracket, P, close caret bracket, gives me a space, or gives me a line down, and then 100% fuel. All that stuff just happens, so it just drops in, drops down, and makes everything nice and easy. You can make things bigger. You can customize the colors. You can do all that stuff. You can change all the logos that are in here somewhere, some form, some fashion. It's something that is its own tutorial altogether. But when I'm calling a race, I'm having to maintain and manage what the top screen's doing, to watching the race, to seeing where the contact is, to watching the relative and the lap times and what the drivers are doing. Let's just quit this one real quick and we'll go. We're not gonna say the replay because I don't need it. But likewise, it's literally. Let's see, we've got 6 minutes before the Xfinity Series starts. But I mean that's literally the kind of race that you come to expect, or the kind of formality that you have to do it. Plus, on top of that, you have to keep track knowledge in your head or have it up on another screen, which is what my upper left is. If I have, if it's a new track I haven't been to, then it's I look up the track information. I talk about the track information. But for the most part, I know a lot about what track we're going to before we even get there. We got a Monster Mile coming at 1.07 miles on that track. The race is going to be dependent on what feeling I give to it and kind of how we manage things. But kind of a look behind the scenes. Of course, it's my back wall. We have foam padding up on that wall and on this wall and on this wall, including my Jordan poster and my Mandalorian poster right there. And normally I'm up and into the monitors, but I wanted to show you guys what this kind of entails. And then if a league has stats that I want to look at, I always go into the league, my leagues, and I just look up their stats and see what they've got going on, and pop up their information at the same time. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding when you get it right, when you do it right. So just simple things, but you can do this with one monitor. I've seen people do it. You can do it with two monitors. I don't recommend one monitor because you're literally manually changing things, and you don't really have, for the price of a button box to be able to do things for you, you can have a second monitor and have peace of mind. if you use an SDK, I'd recommend 2 monitors at minimum. 3 is always better. OBS can run in the background. Once you switch scenes in OBS, you don't need it. And plus, if you just have one monitor, a button box would go a long way to do that. Yeah, OBS is killer, man. I mean, it's I've learned more about OBS and in the course of all of this than anything else. Here, let me disable the preview. That, I mean, if we look at the sources that I have and all the things that I've got going on, let's put it in studio mode real quick. We've got the driver spotlight where we pop in the cameras and all of the things that we do with that. We got the different scenarios that we have going on here. There's your main screen that everything's popped up on right now, which I'm going to go back through and change. All the commercials that we play for Chop and the Chop Stop series and what I do. My starting soon screen is always really nice. Actually, I wanted to show you guys the what I do for my starting soon screen. So let's re-enable the preview. Let's go to my upper monitor here. I use Stream Elements. So for my upper monitor. You go to streamelements.com and then you can create an overlay. They have lots of templates for you. This bar is part of one of the templates, which I like, is Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. If I wanted to, I can change all that back and, do what I need to do there. But I literally upload, I go to, nope. I'm going to click on the background that I have. I'm going to change. I'm going to upload over here. So that way it's ready to go for tomorrow. Submit. I'm going to do that. I need to put a white drop shadow on that. So I'm going to have to do that before the week. And then we'll just resize everything so that it looks right. Hit save. And then when I go to my starting soon screen, which you'll see in a second, it'll have automatically changed for next week. So, and then of course the music starts playing, and that's our intro music. It's what we do. But I use that. There it is. I use this. It's awesome. They have timers. They have widgets. You get plus right here. You can add an alert box if you want to. If you don't have alerts, folks, I encourage you to use. If you don't have alerts set up anywhere else, or you don't have custom alerts, Stream Elements can do pretty much everything. It has its own centralized. If you have your accounts linked to it, your Twitch account or your YouTube or your Facebook account linked to it, it'll do everything for you. Say I want to have a merch alert box, I can do that. Hype cup, those are funny. That's like a little beer mug or something like that that fills up whenever you do it. Countdown, there's your engagement, your countdown. You can put somebody want to do a media request, you can put that in your stream as well. Your tips, your greatest all time tip count, anything you can do with Streamlabs, you can do in Stream Elements, but it's an OBS, or it's a web browser source. I don't use anything but this. The countdown, actually, when I was doing the countdown timer before, I actually have a program. It's called My Stream Timer. When we were doing the stream timer for the All-Star race for Chop Shop. So, but this is just a countdown. It resets every time I refresh the page, and just click that save one more time, and that's what I use. So I encourage people to check out Stream Elements. There's lots of YouTube videos out there, but if you have any questions, of course, you can put them in the chat. SDK is a great resource. iRacing is the best resource that you're going to have when it comes to what we're doing. But also in the same concept. Let me load a project. Yeah, load a different one. Dirt. when it comes to customization and what we do. Let me pull up a race here. Go watch the top split on the Xfinity series real quick. Moving things around here. Continue. This way I can just get rid of some of the stuff we're hiding here. This isn't going to be a long video. I do want this to be nice and short and make sure that we're all good to go. Click join. I always forget to do that occasionally. So, but yeah, it's a. I said launch. There we go. I don't like the UI. I miss the days of the website being the only place to go. Hey, Andrew Payne's running. We know Andrew. 5572. The Xfinity series for the driver. We know who Andrew is. Good driver. And Eric Schaefer's in there. We know Schaefer. All right. Boy. Options back. Exit wizard. We're going to change the graphics. It's really bright. Holy cow. And I change everything dynamically, okay? Just so everybody knows. Here's your tower. Everything I do is dynamic. I try to make sure that Quentin Warman's 6726. That is an iRating. So if the track's too bright or the track's too dark, I go back and I go and change it. So that was their practice. They just finished up. So we'll see what the drivers do here. But we talk about customization. Here's my ticker that I have for the Dirt Series. And I have it staying with the top 5. I have things just kind of looking naturally intense, just doing our thing. There you go. Orman running a Ryko paint scheme. It loaded in. Ben Speed coming off pit road. Marcus Newbosher is going to come off pit road as well. Tony Benfield. See Stoney out there. I haven't seen Stoney in a hot minute. So yeah, there's a lot to be considered here when it comes to what kind of race you're running, what kind of race the tracks are running. Dirt Series looks different than the NASCAR series, and so you gotta just change yourself and put yourself in their perspective and see what the leagues want. And if you're out there and you're trying to stream for yourself, you don't need all of this. This is too much. This is almost overkill for just, regular old stream. But you could use it. You know what I mean? If disco running in the background, you could have, all kinds of different things. Behind the scenes, man, it's pretty simple. There's not much to it other than just taking a lot of time to learn what you're doing, and taking a lot of time to give yourself an advantage or an edge over everybody else. And that's what's great about it. The old Ryko paint scheme for Andrew Payne. See him out there running officials. But yeah, that's what the drivers do. And when it comes to calling a race, I can't teach anybody how to call a race. You kind of have to just watch enough, learn enough about the simulator, do your homework about the simulator to know what the cars are supposed to do. Race, I do race. I don't race as much as I used to. But I will say that the racing enough on the simulator the experience is pretty much the same still. But the only thing that I would say it's any different is when they update the cars, you have to pay attention to what the updates are. If it's a damage model update or a track bar update, or maybe they threw in an updated scan of the racetrack, then those are all things that you have to consider, and you just kind of have to pay attention to it. When I'm racing, I normally have the joystick hooked up for the drone cam, but the Control F12 gives you your gives you your camera views here, and if you set it on temporary edits, under the group section, anytime you move the camera, when the camera moves back, I'm going to continue to move, and it should go back to that other camera here pretty soon. Once you go back to that camera, or whenever, it switches, the camera here, we'll just move this up here by the sign, right? Oh, we'll go underneath the track. Okay, so it's going to change here in a moment, right? And once it cycles back around, similar to like, here's when the TV1 cam comes around. Yeah, see, there's that. This one was underneath the ground. So because it's now not underneath the ground, if I go to Scenic 01, it resets. If I go to Scenic 02, it resets. Scenic 03, there you go. That's where the cameras are. Now you can save views and all that stuff. Like I have specific car cams that I use. You can save all that stuff the way you want to. And I encourage you to make it your own. Make it your own personality. Make it for, you're doing this to create for yourself. You're creating for the leagues as well. And I'm a big community proponent, but I don't necessarily need to put myself in any other scenario to, how do I put this? I create races for the leagues to be broadcasted, but everything else I create because I enjoy it, because I like the way it looks. Like whenever it comes to Kansas, I think we have we only have the 3 cameras. So if I go to the pit road camera, I made sure the pit road camera focuses at the cone and will look down the end. You know what I mean? Same concept here for these drivers. Now, if I want to go take a race down pit road here, there we go. I can do that. If I can hit Control Z, I can use my mouse. You know what I mean? Ooh, a little fast because I have the camera set fast, but I can do that. You know what I mean? If it escaped, it goes back to the normal side. Actually, let's go here. We're gonna take this down a little bit. There we go. See, now it's a little slower. So these drivers going to load in, and this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at where the cameras are, and this is the time I get the final P's and Q's on what I need to do. And as I look at that, that makes me remember that, now I'm buckled in. Now I'm going to be here for, an hour and a half to 2 hours. Call it a race, and if anything changes, it's all on me now. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way it goes. Kind of the way things work. Kind of the way things have to be. And then once you look at it, that's the end all be all. Escape to get out of that. I do have, again, different cameras for different situations. I can change my camera view right here. Woman blinked out. Something happened. I don't know. Something happened. I think iRacing crashed. I think it did. I think iRacing crashed. How crazy. It hasn't crashed in a hot minute. So how about them apples? I blinked on somebody. Maybe I had an internet issue there. Hell, I don't know. It is what it is. Week 13 remains active. Downtime is scheduled. I think that might be. Oh, they have downtime on September 11th. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happened there. That has never happened. I've never had that happen. I've been kicked out of a session a long time ago, but that was a long time ago. That was when I first started doing this, and I was just driving. I got in this to drive. I got in this to be a NASCAR sim racer. I didn't get in it for any other reason. It was fun. It was a good time. So, I wanted to talk about how these how getting back in, and this is what happens if I'm behind the scenes. If the race fails or something happens with the race, or say we do have an internet outage, then we have to get back in, and we have to make sure that we're good to go. All right, let's go to back. Yes, graphic. Boy, that stuff didn't save. Okay. All right, so they're green. They just completed one lap. Being out front, Warman's going to be in second. And now what I'm looking at is I'm not just looking at what Andrew Payne is doing. When he gets into the corner, the 21 there coming into the screen, I see drivers backing off. There's Eric Schaefer back here in sixth off 2. And again, I'm looking right here where the drivers are, where they've moved, how many spots they've gone up, where the iRating are, what their last lap time was, and what kind of lap time it's gonna present itself. 25 at Ben Speed closing in just a little bit here. Kansas being fun. Fastest lap of the race is highlighted in purple for me. So 31:22 for Promoda. As Andrew Payne goes back to third. Warman's going to be your race leader. Fastest driver out there is 21 on the outside. Think about this, 21, 28.66. That's his iRating right now, driving the Nitro scheme. And on the bottom, there's Warman in the 1, driving the 84 paint scheme with the Ryko setup on it. One of the things that you see with the Ryko cars, with these drivers, is that Warman right now, Promoda 31.03. Top split, highest iRated driver, 67.26. And then you see Schroeder back here. He's the lowest iRated driver. He's at 25.04. That's saying something. Billy Shea, 27.24. Matthew Cox, tail end of the field here. Maybe just trying to hold on to what he's got. We'll see what these drivers do. Fast laps are running. Nobody's run under a 31 yet, so we'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Dakota Ehrman is going through the field, 53.27. So I'm just calling what I see. I just call the race, looking at what we have, and then making sure that everything's working for all the drivers. You can see all the field. If you can't see all the field, you have to make the corrections. You have to make sure drivers are good to go. I want to make sure that all of them are, if they're all on the racetrack, they're all shown that way. And that's the group layout of what they have going on. Of course, that's just your timing tower. If you scroll up and get rid of the timing tower, we'll go to the ticker. I'm going to show your top 5. And you kind of just have to make it work. Schaefer pushing his way forward. With Frost, and again, you look at the different lines. You're watching. In my eyes, I'm looking up here what the driver's doing, but when I'm looking at the racetrack, you kind of have to keep your head on the swivel. Oh, 7, that's 7. That is a 7. He catches it. 7 goes around. 25 of Ben Speed got into him. About 4 wide, 3, 4 wide. Ooh, this is about to be a whole lot of headache. 3 wide now, 7. 25, a little bump to him earlier. 7 closes down. Got a blinker up here on the number 20. Acacia. You would think that connection issues wouldn't be a thing when you have a 2800 iRating, but you know what? It still happens. And so now that they've made a little contact and you see what the 7's doing, you stick with the driver just to be sure. Of course, this is Kansas. If I change all that, I want to make sure I change that on the fly. C2 mix it up, Dirt Series. It's not Dirt Series, of course. But that's what you're looking at. And so you kind of have to find your own rhythm, and you have to keep the focus. And right now, the focus is going to be right where these drivers are. You know, Eugene Alonso here in the 7. He's dropping. Ooh, bounces it off the wall. Little net go to the 10. Berube getting down to the bottom. In top split racing, going off the cases here. Full second for Promoto to Warman. Warman, the Ryko team, 1-2. They're sitting in second and third, but that's part of it. You know, you have to make your own case. You have to make your own pace, and kind of got to look at what you got going on. So I'm constantly scanning and looking and keeping things on par of what we have. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, pretty common. You know, we like to see everybody doing what they do. I would normally finish up, call the race. I kind of hate leaving in the middle of it, but I'm not here. They're not paying me to do this. So. But yes. So I mean, there's a lot going on, folks. A lot going on. So when I go back to it, what I will do is we're gonna delete that one out of OBS. That's not going to be there. Delete that one out of OBS. Yep. Delete that out of OBS. Delete that out of OBS. Yeah. So that's my game capture. It's what I've got going on. It's on SDK Gaming. Make sure it matches up like it's supposed to. And then there it is. That's your end result without my face on it. Kind of all over the place, but worth it. Promoter, looks like he's got a big old second lead. Pretty darn impressive, right? These guys got a lot of talent. And you know what? The 7 able to save that is crazy in itself. So, good stuff. Very good stuff. I don't know. May have to watch it after all. All right, folks. Be good. We'll see you for 8:02 tomorrow. Much love. I'm going to fix this while I'm here. It's ready to go. Boom. There it is. Oh, yeah. My starting soon screen. That's the game capture. That's what that is. So there's that overlay. I want it right there in the middle so these drivers are shown while everybody waits for me to get ready. Yep. Here's what it is. Good looking race. All right, folks. See you tomorrow.